Cut. Here we go again. Alright, we're finally on. Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Mike and I'm here to give you guys some tips and tricks on how you could take better photographs. Whether that be using a phone, which pretty much all of us carry nowadays, or a point and shoot camera, DSLR, or a mirrorless camera. I'm talking mostly digital. I am not going to be talking about film cameras. I shot film years ago and I gave that up, and I actually got back into photography, believe it or not, using an iPhone. And that's where we are going to start off today with. So I'm going to show you how to set up your iPhone camera in order for you to be taking better pictures. Yeah, excuse the glasses, sorry. Blind as a bat without them. Okay, so this is your iPhone camera screen. This is for the 12 Pro Max iPhone. Different phones, different iPhones may look a little different than that. Some of the settings might be a little different than that. Again, that's just because of different upgrades. The 12 SE phone or the regular 12 iPhone may not have some of these settings. So this is for the 12 Pro Max. If you can't find your settings the way I'm showing you, chances are your phone may not have those settings. Okay, so over here on the far right, this is your camera button. So right now I'm on the front facing camera. If you click the button, it goes over to the selfie camera. Okay, and we'll go back there to the front facing camera. Next to that is your shutter button. That is the big white button right there. If you click that to take a picture. Next to that is your last photo taken. Okay, you can see this. I took this morning of my little puppy. And you can even edit the photo and everything right from the camera screen. Now, above all that is your mode button. Today we are only going to be talking about photo mode and then a little bit about portrait mode. Okay, and now you can see portrait mode adds a little bit of blur in the background. It's called bokeh. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But right now we're just talking about the photo mode. Above that you have your zoom button. So you have ultra wide, you have your normal or wide, they call it a wide screen, but I call it normal. So that's your normal zoom. And then this is your zoom, your regular zoom. Okay. Now you can zoom in farther with your fingers if you pinch to zoom. However, once you go past this full zoom, the 2.5x, now you start getting into digital zoom. When you get into digital zoom, it starts to add little noise and little specks and stuff into your photographs. You don't want that. So I suggest you only pick those three and then just move your feet forward or backwards to get closer or farther away from whichever one you chose, and then move farther or back. So let's go back to normal mode. Now we go all the way to the top. On the far left, this is your flash button. Okay, there's flash on, there's flash off, and then I will show you in a little bit you can actually put it on auto mode. Right next to this is your exposure compensation button. Okay, and what that does is it gives you a little extra leeway to make the screen brighter or darker. Okay, now I like using this especially if you are in a place where there's shadows, or if you're taking a picture of a sunset, because the sun is beaming right into your camera, into your phone, and it's going to really be bright. So you want to dim that down a bit. You can just darken it down right there. You can see how the screen's getting darker. So here's a good example. Let me go point over here at the sun. See how bright that is right there? So now I can lower that down and you can see how it gets a little bit dimmer. Now granted, I'm right at the Why did I do that? I forgot you can't hear me because the microphone is right there. Alright, so anyway, this is exposure compensation. So let me get back to somewhat normal over here. There we go. Okay, so exposure compensation, that's that one. So we'll get out of that. Now I'm going to skip over the middle one in a minute. That's going to go to some more settings, but over here, this is RAW. What RAW is kind of like a negative was for a film camera. It has all your data, okay? You never really want to give the RAW photo to anybody. It's like giving your negatives to somebody, so then they can just keep printing out more and more photos from it. You may not see that on your camera right now, and that it could be one of two reasons. Number one, you don't have one of the phones that offer that, okay? Or number two, which I'm going to show you how you can fix this, it's in your settings. So if you go over into your settings, let's see, here we go, right here. And you got to scroll down, all the way down to get to camera. Click on the camera button, and now over here where it says format, you click format. You got high efficiency, so you want that clicked. You want to make sure that's there. And then also Apple Pro RAW. Make sure that is checked. And then when you go back to your camera button, or to your camera, you'll see it. Now you could turn it off if you want to. And there's one reason why you're going to want to turn this off. Otherwise you should leave it on RAW all the time. Okay? And I'm going to talk about why you should turn it off in a minute. But the reason you want this in RAW is the camera collects as much data as it can of the scene. And so when you go and edit your photo, you can tweak it, and you can, if you got like a really dark shadow, you can bring some of that back. If your highlights are a little too bright, you can bring them down. Okay, and it allows you to bring in that information that with your eye you can't see it, but the camera saw it, and the camera collected that data. Okay, now I did say there's a reason why you're going to want to not have RAW on, and that's if you're going to use live mode. iPhones have this setting right here called live mode. So if you notice when I turned it on, it said live, and then it turned off the RAW automatically, so you don't have to turn the RAW back off. And the live mode, what it does is when you take a picture, okay, it takes kind of like a 5-second scene, almost like a video. And inside of Apple Photos, you can go in and you can like pick the part of the photo you want. So let's just say you're taking a picture of your puppy yawning, and you took a picture, and then but you weren't sure if you got what you wanted, or you didn't like the one you got. You can go into Apple Photos and you can click on the photo, and you'll see it's live, and you can scroll and get just to the right point of the puppy's yawn that you want on your photo. So again, that's probably when you're going to want to use live. You can also use live photos to make, I don't even know how to pronounce it, it's either a GIF or a GIF, but you may have seen them on Instagram and on Facebook and whatever, the little kind of short 1 second or half a second videos you might see on Facebook or Instagram. So anyway, I'm going to turn live off, and you can see on my phone it went right back to RAW. Okay. Now let's go back to the arrow in the middle. The arrow in the middle. Click that arrow, and down at the bottom, you see some things have changed here. You have a bunch of different settings you can have. So your first one, that's your flash. Right now the flash is off. You could turn the flash on. You can see it goes on over there. Or I could put it on auto mode, so you can let the camera decide if you want flash on. I suggest you either turn it on or off. Preferably off, since straight on flash doesn't always look very appealing on people or on a scene when you're using it. If you really need it, then turn it on. But otherwise, I suggest you really leave it off. Okay. Next one is your live mode. And again, you have auto on or live off. I would either go on or off, not auto. Don't let the phone camera decide how your picture is going to look. You decide it, not the phone. Next one. This is your aspect ratio. I have mine set for 16:9. You can see how big the picture is going this way. If I go to square, okay, it kind of goes into a square picture. this might be good for, say, something like Facebook. Facebook is likes square photos. Let me see the next one here. Let's go back. Where are we here? Oh, gotta click on that. You got 4x3. 4x3 is kind of like Instagram. Instagram has been very popular with 4x3. However, they are changing. They're going to 9x16. 9x16. Okay, so we click on that again, and you got 16x9. Okay, now 16x9 technically is a horizontal photo. That's what your TV most likely is 16x9 video. You have to reverse those two numbers for vertical, so 9x16. That's no problem. 16x9, 9x16, doesn't matter. If you change the phone, boom, see, there's 16x9, there's 9x16. Problem solved, okay? So I'm just going to leave it right there. Next one is your exposure compensation. Again, you can lower that to make it darker and a little bit lighter, okay? So that's your exposure. We've already talked about that one. The next one is your timer. Okay, timer off. You got 3 seconds and you got 10 seconds. So let's just say you put your phone up on a tripod or lean it up against a wall or something, or you're holding it out way out in front of you and you want to make sure you got the shot lined up. You can set it for a 10-second timer. It'll count down and it'll automatically click the shutter for you. You don't have to do anything. Okay, so that's your timer. Next one, very controversial. These are your filters. Okay, personally, I don't use filters. Okay, I like to edit my own photos and I'll put whatever effect on the photo I want. Okay, but again, you could change the scene to whatever you want, cool, dramatic, warm, etc. And again, I think they're too overdone. Just leave it on original, and then you could do whatever you want to the photo while you're editing. The next one is HDR. Again, another controversial setting. For photos, I'm not a big fan of HDR. What they do is they really like to over sharpen and make the colors a little too vibrant and a little too just saturated, and they just look phony. They don't look real. They don't look like real photos. Okay, if you want to do that, you can do that yourself when you edit your photos, and that way you can set it exactly where you want. Don't let the camera decide how your photos look. Okay, so that's HDR. And then you got your RAW setting. Once you have that Apple ProRes or ProRAW in your settings set to on, you can turn it on or off here on the camera. And again, it's right up here at the top. You turn it on or off right up there at the top. Okay, so pretty much that's all your settings on your phone. And now all you have to do is make a composition, line it up. So if you want to take a horizontal photo, okay, matter of fact, let me go over here. We'll take a lovely selfie, and oh, there we go. See, now I got the light back like this, and turn it like that, and I can click the button, and there's my photo. Go over here, and now I can edit that photo if I want to. Okay, so let me get back onto that one right there. Let me go back. If you want to get rid of the settings on the bottom here, just click that arrow, and you'll go right back to your modes. Okay, so as you can tell, it's gotten very bright out here, and I probably overexposed the video. It's kind of hard to tell from where I'm sitting, but I may have overexposed the video a little bit, so I apologize for that. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the information I gave you. Hopefully I didn't kind of go all over the place. If I was talking too fast, which I do tend to do sometimes, just kind of go back and rewind the video, and you can check all your different tips. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and put them in the comment section. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. YouTube algorithm, which is kind of like where they rate the videos, they really like that, and especially with me just starting out, I'm trying to get my photos or my videos going up and up and up. Okay, so I'll definitely like to get more subscribers if I could. So anyway, please subscribe. I will post all my other social media stuff down in the description, as well as here on the screen somewhere, probably either along the bottom or on the side somewhere. So hopefully you enjoyed it. I will probably do another video hopefully by the end of the week, if not the beginning of next week. See you next time.